Hi Stampers, Diane, Dimich here with ddStamps.com, and today I'm going to teach you how to do this technique on this stamp called Blended Bloom. It's a resist emboss technique, and it's really it's just lovely. So anyway, let's get started. To begin with, I'm going to come in with my Versamark ink, and I'm going to ink up the Blended Bloom stamp. And I'm using, for this particular technique and on this card, I'm using Stampin' Up! Shimmery white cardstock. It's got it's got a coating on it, but it's got a beautiful shimmer to it, and the inks just blend great. But you could also use our Whisper white cardstock would work just as well. And so when I pull this up, you're not going to see it because it's Versamark, so it's just a clear sticky ink. I'm going to come in and add some white embossing powder on top of this. I'm going to kind of just let that get around my card there a little bit. Shake it off. Now I could have used the embossing buddy if I wanted to, but it looks like I don't have a whole lot of static on my card today, which is good. It works better for me in the summertime than in the winter when I've got the heater going on in here. Then I have a lot of static everywhere, but when it's just nice out and summery out, I don't have as much static. So I'm going to go ahead and go heat set this. I will be right back. So I'm back, and as you can see, you still can't see much because I embossed that over the top with white embossing powder. And if you start looking at it from a side angle where you can see some light, if you see anything that's not shiny, then you know it's not embossed. And I actually see a little spot right there, so I'm just going to hit that with the heat gun one more time. Okay, now we're ready to start. And this is like the easiest technique in the whole world. So you're just going to go ahead and use a couple of different colors of ink and some sponges. So I'm going to start out with Daffodil Light and Pumpkin Pie, and I'm just going to ink up my sponge. I take one of our regular sponges that Stampin' Up! Has and I quarter it. I actually add a little cardstock color with a staple to it so that I know that I always use this sponge and this ink. I know it's kind of awkward, but it's just how I am. And then you're just going to come in and sponge that color on there. And you can see how the color is pretty deep in the middle and then works its way out. And I'm going to do the same thing with the pumpkin, only this time I'm going to come from this side, the side of the stamp, and kind of just blend those colors in together all the way around. You can see how that image then starts to emerge. This is a great technique. It's a lot of fun, and it's very, especially with the white on white, the embossing on the white cardstock, because it's fun to see what the image actually looks like. But you could do this sponging technique with any color embossing powder. You just want to make sure you get enough color in there. And then I'm actually going to come back in with a little more of the daffodil and just make sure I get those blended in well. Pull that color out. And then the last thing I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to come in with a little early espresso and an ink dauber. These are just one of our ink daubers for our fingers, and I'm just going to go right to the middle of this and bring some of that color out. And you get a beautiful card, a beautiful image, and it dries immediately. The last thing you'll want to do is come in with a Kleenex or a paper towel and just go ahead and wipe that off, because what happens is the ink does not stick to the embossing powder, and so when you wipe it off, then you won't get ink all over everything. And then again, this is one that's trimmed out, and like I like to trim out my cards, I like to go with just a little tiny edge on there all the way around, and you'll see that to make this an easy cut, I actually move the cardstock instead of the scissors. The scissors basically stay in the same spot. You just take that all the way around. Okay, so there's my image cut. It's ready to be mounted onto a card, and as you can see on here, I just mounted it onto another piece of paper pumpkin cardstock, added a little bit of a doily, and some more shimmery white cardstock that I've put the greeting on. And I added this on actually with the dimensionals. I'll have a list of products on my website and the measurement instructions there too if you're interested. Just go ahead and click on the link. Otherwise, have a great day. Thank you.